This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, would you look at that? Another series win for the Houston Astros, taking down the Toronto Blue Jays for a second consecutive night of holding them to a whopping 2 hits as the pitching stands out. The hitting does its job as well, as the Stros are above 500 at 12-11 on the season. It sure would be nice if they didn't fart around early in the season, but beggars can't be choosers, and here you are, Houston. You've got a team that is back in the win column in terms of wins and losses, and then we'll look for the series sweep tomorrow as they wrap it up a little bit earlier than they do on a normal night at 6:40 tomorrow night. Hello and welcome to the Locked On Astros Postcast here tonight. I am your host, Michael Connor. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching the show live or watching it later on recorded. Either way, we appreciate you as well. The Astros doing a lot. We got a lot to get into with them. We also have a lot to get into in terms of what is ahead and getting greedy. And Rennell Blanco was absolutely fantastic tonight for the Astros. I want to talk about him as well because he needs to be talked about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Blanco so far this season, after a spring that was very down, not up and down, it was just flat out down, looked a lot like the guy that the Astros had last season. You know, for a minute there, you got to admit, he got into the third inning. He got the first 2 outs of it. He hadn't given up a hit at this point. Nobody's even reached base for the Blue Jays at this point. Part of you had to be thinking, because I know I did, is he going to go deep with a no-hitter again tonight against this Blue Jays team? Is there something about Rennell Blanco and facing the Toronto Blue Jays that has him just, not giving up hits? I felt it for a minute. Didn't play out that way, of course. That's okay. All that matters more than anything else is that the Astros got a really good start out of Rennell Blanco tonight, and they've needed it. They need him to not be what he was in the first, few times through the rotation. Yeah, he's okay in some of them, but he's got an ERA over 5 on the season. You don't get there by mistake. You pitch poorly to get there, and he did knock it down quite a bit tonight. He was coming off of a start against St. Louis that was just okay, against the Angels just okay, and then, of course, the blow-up was the Minnesota game, and then he was just okay in the San Francisco game. Now, I don't want to downplay, just okay when you give 5 and 3 like he had been for the most part. That's significant and matters because you're giving your team a chance to win a baseball game when you go 5 and 3. But they need him occasionally to be this guy too, right? Right now the rotation's got Ryan Gusto in it, and I don't want to downplay Ryan Gusto at all, but that Ryan Gusto needs to be your worst starter at the moment, not Rennell Blanco. And tonight he was the exact opposite of that. He was absolutely fantastic for the Astros from the jump. I thought his command was something that we've not seen really at all so far this season in his starts early in the year. That's massive. He had the feel for all of the breaking stuff. His changeup was utilized properly. The game plan with him tonight was great. Everything about what they did with him tonight was great. And then he went out there and again, he executed on all of it. And, of course, that's, shocker. Let me go ahead and give you some really hardcore breaking news. It takes, of course, you going out there and doing it to get through it. Yes, revelations here on the show. But, man, he was great. Absolutely fantastic. And it's a great, great sign for the Astros. If there's one constant so far this season, overall, it is that, once again, this team can pitch. And I know that, I've had plenty of days where I'm mad about it. I don't like some of the things I've been vocal about, certain areas of the ball club that worry me in terms of how they're going to handle this season and get through this season and be really successful and win a division once again. What I do know is that if they go out there and they pitch like this consistently, they are going to absolutely have a chance at the end of the season to be in the playoffs, to win the division. And you see where it goes from there. Like I mentioned, over 500 now in the season, 12-11, game and a half out in the West. Angels just ahead of them. They are, I would assume that I haven't looked. They are losing currently to the Pirates. So the Astros can go ahead and move ahead of the Angels tonight. The Rangers are currently up as we're doing this show, 3-2 in the third inning against the Oakland Athletics. Half game out after tonight. Astros back in front of the AL West here before you know it. Okay, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. It's still early in the season. It's still April the 22nd. I can't overreact to anything. They are playing a team that they should beat this week, I should say, at home in the Toronto Blue Jays, and they're doing just that so far to start this series. They've won another series. They've secured a winning homestand as well, which is all important. We've known about the struggles at home for this team in the past years. They can't have a season like that again. We all know that. The margins for this team are a lot slimmer than they have been in years past. So taking care of your business in games like this, against teams like this, absolutely matters. And then to do it at the right time of the game, look, to me, I mean, clearly, what was the turning point in this one? I think you could guess.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Maybe you could make the argument that the Toronto Blue Jays just walking into Minute Maid Park is the turning point of this one, because the Astros play Toronto, and Toronto, for some reason, can't do anything when they come to town in this ballpark. But the turning point of this one was something that the Astros in years past have been so good at. Not letting starting pitchers get settled into baseball games. Now, they're facing a guy tonight in Chris Bassitt. Now, this isn't the same Astros lineup as has been in the past. There are guys with experience against him, quite a bit of experience against him. Jordan, Altuve, Jeremy Pena a little bit because of his years playing with the Oakland Athletics. But this is a guy that they're overall pretty familiar with. Same coaching staff here, same analytical department, same kind of game plan you're probably coming up against Chris Bassitt every time. And he's been lights out this season. But look what they did. They came out in the first inning. And sure, did they smoke the ball deep into the outfield all over the place, hit home runs? No. They got some breaks that went their way. Christian Walker rockets a ball back up the middle, hits off the base. But when you can do that and go put up a 3 spot in the very first inning against a starter of Chris Bassitt's caliber, because you see what Bassitt ends up doing. He settles in. He gets into a groove. He gets deeper into the game. The Astros did get one more run off of him as he got into the 6th there. But he found it there for a minute. And the Astros had a tough time getting runs home. He had some situations where he put runners on base. The Astros loaded the bases or whatever, but he did what a good pitcher does, and he didn't give up a bunch more damage on a night where he was not his best. But when you put that pressure on or you jump a starting pitcher early in a game like that and you get that lead, I mean, look, you could go pull the numbers anywhere. You know, the story is always told by so many stats, but one of the best stats that's out there is records when you have your team score first. And the Astros throughout the years, like everybody else, when you're a good team, your record is usually really good when you score first. I don't have the exact number on this one anymore. I was just trying to log into seeing if I still had access to the MLB Press Box site where I could get all these things, but sad face, I don't have that anymore. That's okay. I'll see if I can figure it out. But just the pressure that it puts on the opposing team when you can jump out that quickly is just absolutely fantastic. And it means so much. And it's something that they've not done a lot of this year. I think they'd scored 3 runs in the first inning all season coming into this one. Or 4 maybe. And here you go. They've got 3 in the first tonight. Threw the Blue Jays on their heels. And a Blue Jays team that did not hit last night continued their trend tonight. Because, again, your starting pitching, well, shut them down. And then your bullpen as well. Props to the bullpen. They did their thing again, and the Astros get a 5-1 win. And again, over 500 now at 12-11 on the season. I mentioned Christian Walker a moment ago. Got to give him some praise for his night tonight. And it's time for this club to get greedy. And who's the player of the game tonight? I'll tell you all of it here in a brief moment on the Locked On Astros Postcast. The NBA playoffs, well, they are here. And there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel. FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on this action. Right now, when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your bet wins. I love FanDuel. Who doesn't? From three-pointers to steals to assists, FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Plus, after the game tips, you can even combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. Don't miss out on the action. Head over to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. The Astros have won 2 in a row for a second time already in 2025. Who could have guessed it? Can they make it 3 in a row tomorrow and finally secure their first sweep of the season? We will find out tomorrow night. Programming note for tomorrow night's show. Yes, we will have one. It is a little bit of an earlier start for tomorrow night's game, 6:40 first pitch. So we will be doing the show as soon as the game ends tomorrow night, and then over there on the Locked On Houston Sports, Locked On Sports Houston page, you will find me late night tomorrow night for Rockets and Warriors Game 2 post-game coverage from what happens at the Toyota Center tomorrow night, where hopefully the Rockets even up the series at a game apiece. Christian Walker, I wanted to give some love to real quick. Got the day off yesterday. Needed the breather. Absolutely needed it. And it looked like tonight maybe it paid a little bit of dividends. 3 for 3 and had a hit by pitch. So gets on base 4 times. Hit the ball hard. Got some hits. Got some knocks. Got a double there late. You can't claim that he's back and that he's rolling and that he's good to go and he's going to be a monster all of a sudden. But that was the first step, right? It's a lengthy process. It is a process that you have to prove it every single day. And Christian Walker took that first step of that process tonight of hopefully reminding everybody that he's not a complete big fat negative at the plate, because that's exactly what he's been this season. And they have to have him. We all know that. The Astros' best construction of their lineup is going to be Christian Walker doing what he's done for the Arizona Diamondbacks for the last few years and being the 4-hole hitter and driving in runs. That's nothing against Jeremy Pena. Jeremy Pena is not a cleanup hitter. Never has been, never will be. You can't have him in the 4-hole all season long. I know tonight it was Pena tonight. And Pena had a great night tonight too. I don't want to discount Pena. He was 3 for 4. Got aggressive on the base pass. One of those for a double. I don't mind Jeremy Pena being aggressive because he's super fast out there. So I ain't got nothing to say about that overall. I'm not going to mention that the team left the bases loaded. They left a bunch of guys in scoring position, left on base. It's fine. It's whatever. They got the 5-1 win. It is what it is. Who takes home the player of the game tonight? Well, it's time to find out.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Now, tonight, I want to give out categories. Yeah, I'm cheating the system a little bit. I want to give out categories because I want to give out to an offensive player, and I do want to give it to Christian Walker, who had a 3 for 3 night. I could also give it to Pena, who had a 3 for 4 night, but I'm going to give it to Christian Walker alone. And then on the pitching side, the overall player of the game, how about that? Rennell Blanco, 6 2/3, 1 run, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, limited the walks to just 2, did allow the 1 home run. One of the 2 hits, the solo home run that he gave up there. Gets to 2-2 on the season. ERA moves to 5.01. So congratulations to Rennell Blanco tonight. You win absolutely nothing other than the respect and the slow building of having faith built back up of the fan base that you can pitch well like you have in the most recent season, which is the 2024 season, where you were absolutely dominant last year. Borderline all-star in the first half and got snubbed. Real quick before we get out of here, this question keeps popping up, and Marcus, I am sorry. Again, if you're new to this show, the Astros Postcast, we were around all last season on the Locked On Sports Houston page. We have a rally dog that usually makes her way to the show, but she keeps going to bed, man. She's in bed already. I'm not waking her up. She's getting old. She's like 6 years old now. So Coco, the Astros Chihuahua, I promise you, she will make an appearance at some point. Maybe tomorrow night. I'll rope her out of bed because I'll remember now that you reminded me again. Don't forget, tomorrow night, a little bit of earlier start, 6:40 first pitch. We'll be live as soon as the game ends. Make sure you join us here on this channel. You guys have a great rest of your Tuesday night. And again, talk to you all tomorrow. Locked On Astros Postcast.